It's going to be a jam-packed episode with interviews. I have 4 interviews that you're going to be hearing today. I'm trying to edit them as best as possible. It's not only me who did interviews this past month, it is also Javier of Unscarred. Hopefully you know who they are, and if not, I'm shaking my head to you right now. I tried very hard not to laugh at the introduction to this podcast, but I just had to put in my program director and his little skit that he wanted to do with my recorder last time I was here at the studio, so hopefully that was a great introduction and made you laugh. But now I'm going to be sitting here sounding all serious and stuff like, oh, business time. The interviews that I did was this past June at Mayhem Fest with Sworn In and Shattered Sun. Unfortunately, Thy Art Is Murder was not available for interviews because their tour manager decided not to contact me, which is fine. I don't know him personally, so I don't know if he was really busy that day or he was just blowing me off, but okay. I did meet the guys of Thy Art Is Murder, though, and they are really cool dudes. So be sure to check them out. The 2 local interviews that were done this past month as well was In Death, and they are from Australia, which is really interesting and awesome. The other band was Repaid in Blood. Yeah, can you tell that they're metal bands? I didn't conduct the interviews, like I said earlier. It was Javier of Unscarred, so you'll be hearing those later on in the segment. But for now, I want to give you a sneak peek. Well, not a sneak peek. I'm going to actually give you the entire Shattered Sun interview right now. But I think I'll do Shattered Sun interview, and then I will go and give you a recap of the horrible day that I had at Mayhem, and then Sworn In will be afterwards. So here is Joseph of Shattered Sun. So if you could just introduce yourself and the name of your band.
Yeah, I'm Joseph. I'm the bassist with Shattered Sun. We're just out here doing some press. We just did our set a couple hours ago. Went great. Yeah.
So you were in San Diego yesterday.
Yes.
How was the crowd from yesterday to today? What did you think?
It's actually a lot better today. It's the energy was a lot crazier. It was awesome. Weather-wise, a little bit hotter. Yesterday was actually pretty cool, but all in all, it was actually pretty great both days.
That's good.
It was awesome. Ready for tomorrow.
What's tomorrow?
In Mountain View.
Okay, so up there, it's going to be a little bit better.
Oh, okay.
Weather-wise, I think it'll be better.
Sweet. Maybe.
I hope.
We're ready for it.
So can you give me everything that Ariel just said right now in this?
Yeah. Well, we just released our debut album, Hope Within Hatred, off Victory Records a couple months ago, and it's going great.
Congratulations about that as well.
We were on the CMJ charts, billboards. We've been having really great response, even with the fans and everything. It's been great. And yeah, we're with a management company, Breaking Bands, Maria Ferrero, Chuck Billy, and Johnny Z. We signed with them about a year ago or so, and it's just been firing ever since we got with them. We signed, and we did a couple of shows, we did a couple of runs, and then we met up with Victory Records, signed with them for a couple months, released our debut album, and it's been great so far. We've already did our first national tour a couple months ago with Testament and Exodus, and that was just amazing.
What was your favorite part of that tour?
Being able to see Testament and Exodus every night. Yeah.
Every single night?
Yeah.
That'd be my favorite.
They never got
part,
old.
too. Oh yeah. What's your favorite band? What's your influences? Who do you look up to?
Metallica, Pantera, Soilwork, actually. Megadeth. I have a lot of influences, mostly old school bands, but.
And how did Shattered Sun form? If you can go all the way back and tell me that story.
Actually, I'm one of the youngest members in the band,
okay.
But our guitarist Daniel, he's the main guy in the band. He's the one that got it together, and him, Marcus, Rob, and Henry, they all knew each other from high school, and they just all loved music, so they got together and formed the band. And I'm the younger guy in the group, so I sort of just came along, in the way we all live in a small town, so it wasn't hard to find each other.
Yeah, exactly. In Texas, do you like it here? Do you like California better than Texas? Because they say everything's bigger in Texas.
I'd say the view, the people people out here. You know, it's awesome. You know, I like it, but you know, Texas is my home, so I'm gonna have to say Texas for sure.
And musically, who influenced you? Like family members, friends, not musicians.
My cousin actually. He's the one who actually got me into metal. He's the one. You know, before then, I wasn't really into the music or anything, and he's the one that brought me into it. He was playing guitar at the time, and you know, he got me into playing too, and no, he's the one that influenced me into it. So.
And what kind of equipment do you use on stage for any of the bands wanting to be where you are, and they can?
Yeah, I play an Ibanez Prestige. That's my bass, and then on my rig I have a Mesa Boogie M9 carbine, and then I have a BK7 for my overdrive. That's from Dark Glass. And I'm running my cab through a Mesa Boogie powerhouse. It's a 412.
Oh.
So, yeah, it's my rig. It's pretty simple. You know.
Doesn't sound simple, in my perspective. So, of course, you were a local band before. You were a mainstream band. What advice can you give to local bands now trying to get to where you are?
Just stick with it. That's basically what got us where we are. I mean, we played countless local shows. We did Battle of the Bands. We did lots of them to get on, you know, national shows, and that's actually sort of one of the bigger part of it. Doing stuff like that, getting opportunities to play with the bigger bands and learning from them, getting connections, and then just sticking with it. Keep going. You're gonna meet someone eventually down the line as long as you keep doing it. You know.
Stay positive the entire time.
Yeah.
And what's next for you guys after this? Can you give us any idea of what's happening after May?
Yeah, we have a fall tour with Soulfly, Soul Work, and Decapitated. That's our next stop after this, and then we'll be releasing a new single too after Rockstar Energy Mayhem Fest. I can't say what single it is yet, but yeah, we will be releasing one.
And it was a really good time. Joseph is a great musician, and they really kicked butt on stage. I was really surprised, not only because I wasn't really sure who they were, but the day hadn't started off so great. And I'm not one to complain because I know things have happened that weren't great in the past. And I want to give a shout out to their tour manager for being an amazing person throughout the day. He kind of helped me and my photographer Jamie not stress out so much, because he was saying all the negative things that had happened in San Diego, and I was like, okay, I feel kind of better. So not only was it a crappy day in the beginning, and I'm not trying to be all negative, but like, it was a crappy day. In all honesty, the interviews, stoked. I was glad I got them. I was trying to watch Whitechapel during their performance, and some dude wouldn't leave me alone, and it was really obnoxious and uncomfortable. And then I kept seeing him throughout the day, and then Jamie had to like jump in and like save me. But other than that, I know the audio is pretty crappy. It was really windy during the evening time when I was conducting these interviews, so it wasn't very secluded in like an auditorium or anything, or a bus. It was out in the open, grass and dirt and concrete. So at least it gives the ambiance, right? Like you could hear everything happening, and the wind just wasn't helping. But if you turn up your volume just a little bit, don't be lazy, you can probably hear what Joseph had to say. Also, with the upcoming sworn in interview I'm about to show you, the audio is a little crappy as well, so just bear with me. It's not the end of the world. You're hearing these interviews whether you like it or not, and you're probably like, this is boring, I'm fast forwarding through this, which is fine, because, yeah, whatever, I don't care. Anyways, here is my interview with Chris of Sworn In. So if you could say your name and the name of your band, please.
Hi, my name is Chris. I'm with the band Sworn In.
What was your favorite song to perform today?
Probably one of the newer ones. Obviously, like as we play our older stuff, we get more tight in practice and all, but like at the same time, it's a lot more fun to do something fresh.
And how was the crowd today compared to yesterday?
It was actually a lot better. Like yesterday wasn't terrible at all, but today was great. It was a lot better, you know.
What was your favorite tour so far? Because I've seen you guys on a couple other tours with Chelsea Grin and last year at the House of Blues. I saw you guys.
Yeah.
What was your favorite tour that you've done so far?
Honestly, this one's my favorite so far. It's great. It's probably the biggest thing we've done, so I'm happy about that.
Is this the first festival you've done?
We've played lots of festivals, but not festival tours.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a big difference between that.
Oh, yeah.
So starting when you guys were a local band, who did you look up to musically to get to where you are?
Just other local bands around us, you know, and just like we would listen to all the general metal bands out at the time, and you know, we were just like kids. We were into the same music that most of the kids who are into us now are into, you know.
And what bands were you into?
I mean, we were into bands like Avenged Sevenfold, stuff like that. Just your metal bands and the bands that shred really, and we were just really into that sort of stuff. August Burns Red, and as kids,
That's a good band. We saw them at Warped Tour the other day, and they were really good.
Yeah, they're great.
Really good. Out of all the bands that you have toured with, who has been your favorite so far?
I don't really know. Like, musically, I don't really pay so much attention to this genre, but all the bands we tour, they're very different from each other, and they all do their thing really well. So it's kind of hard to choose a favorite,
Yeah. And on your album, what is your favorite song on it? And why?
I don't really know. I can't really pick it out for song by song. Maybe Pocket Full of Posies. That's right. It's the most, I guess, genuine sort of feeling song that we put out,
And what's it about?
It's kind of half and half. I know Tyler writes a lot of the lyrics about it. That one's mostly about emotionless sex. That's what he said it was. And then I wrote a little part in that. It's generally about just kind of not knowing what to do when you're kind of stuck at a certain point in your life and not knowing what to do with yourself as a whole.
Being in the band, what has been your favorite part about it?
I mean, really, it's just the fact that you get to create music that people hear, and I'm just happy about that. I'm happy that people are listening.
With your drum set, what drums do you use for any of the local bands that want to know?
It's called SJC. It's a custom drum kit company, but they do all sorts of drum kits for lots of people, actually. Okay. But they're great.
And anything that you can tell me that's coming up in the future after Mayhem that you're allowed to say?
We haven't announced it yet, so I don't think we're allowed to.
We have
something big in fall, so I'm happy about that.
All right, that's cool. And what city are you looking forward to being in the most coming up?
I mean, hometown shows are always great. I mean, we're hitting everywhere that we really like Texas, California, Florida, New York, and all that are generally areas that we do really well. So we're just happy to be going around the general country,
Okay, and what can you say to the local bands that want to be where you are right now?
I mean, you just really gotta find your thing and stick with it. You just gotta figure out what it is. That's the hard part.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
And when did you say, I made it? Do you feel that way right now? You don't feel that way?
No, I mean, for the 30 minutes you're on stage, maybe, but you'll go to security guards and say, you can't come in here. And you're I'm just trying to get back to my vehicle. You're still treated you aren't treated like a king in no way at all. So it's kind of you got to take what the positive parts are out of it, and I'm happy about what we have so far.
That's cool. And what has been your favorite part of today?
Favorite part of today? Playing was pretty cool. I liked, this fest is great because they have a lot of great food options every day. I think we've never really had that before in such a level, so we're happy about that.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for the interview.
Of course, thank you so much.
They did a great performance, and it was Tyler's, I think it was Tyler's first tour back after he had taken some time off with Chelsea Grin because he got really bad pneumonia, I think. I don't know, he had something really bad and he was bedridden forever. And so he did a great job. I was very happy to see Sworn In. All their fans were there rooting for them, and they have a strong following. I didn't realize how much of a following that they had. So it really blew my mind to see a lot of familiar faces from a lot of the other shows I've been to and seen Sworn In at. They're going places, and I really want to know what their upcoming plans are. It's really bothering me. And watch, they've released it, and I just have not looked. That would be really crappy of me. But I won't be giving you any more interviews for right now until later on. Right now, I'm going to be giving you upcoming shows from, I guess, tomorrow, July 25th, to August 15th, which is Narfest. So I wanted to do that, and then directly after that, I will be doing another podcast episode being released at the end of August. So the upcoming show starting July 25th, which is tomorrow, is Treasure Fest with Lions Amongst Wolves, Anatomy Decay, and more locals, over 50. It's going to be insane. Like the normal festivals, they're always great. They're also mixing Treasure Fest local bands with All-Star Tour with Dayshell, Upon a Burning Body, Oceano, Within Ruins. So, yes, I won't be attending. I will be going to the fair in Costa Mesa and Disneyland in the morning with my mom. I have bought her Capital Cities tickets, so that is going to be really fun. It's going to be a mother-daughter date. Don't hate on it. But if you need tickets for Treasure Fest, because I stated Upon a Burning Body is headlining, be sure to hit up any of the locals. And I just named two, Lions Amongst Wolves and Anatomy Decay. Who doesn't love them? On July 26th, we have Battle for Summer Slaughter at Malone's with Caligula Dance Party Influence and more. So be sure to hit up any of those locals for pre-sale tickets. It will help them out a lot. Zombie Eating Horse is on the same day at the Slide Bar in Fullerton, and it is 21 and over, so don't try and get into that if you don't have your ID and you are under 21. It won't work. July 29th, we have a pop punk show at Slide Bar with By Design, Skylark, and more. Once again, since it is Slide Bar, it is 21 and over. On July 31st, we have Defiant CD release show in Wilmington. I believe it is a public event, but just to be on the safe side, go to either A Shark Among Us's Facebook page or go to Defiant's Facebook page and check out that information. All the information is on the event page, which they probably posted daily. So you can't miss it. On July 31st as well, we have Ocean's 8 Alaska, which is their first U.S. tour, Chain Reaction with The Holy Sin and more. August 1st, we have Caligula Dance Party and the Mirage Theory at the venue in San Bernardino, and I will be playing an advertisement for that later on this episode. We have Assuming We Survive and Survive This at the Glass House in Pomona as well on that day. And August 1st as well, we have Order 66, Influence, and Unscarred at the M Bar in Los Angeles. It is 21 and over. August 3rd, we have Metal Monday's 1-year anniversary show at the Doll Hut in Anaheim with Caligula Dance Party and Anatomy Decay, plus more locals, so go and support that if you're 21 and over, of course. August 4th, Pirate Entertainment is celebrating their 7-year anniversary, and they are throwing a show at the House of Blues in Anaheim for free with Within Reach, Screams of Sirens, The Giver, and more. August 9th, Anatomy Decay is going to kick some ass at the OC Fair in Costa Mesa. They are playing The Hangar at 11:30 a.m., and that is what I have read. If it changes, go to Anatomy Decay's Facebook page for that information. August 10th is Unscarred at the Doll Hut in Anaheim, once again 21 plus with Halfway Gone and more bands. A band from up north is coming down to headline, so be sure and show support to those locals. August 13th at Sinbad's in Riverside with Distinguisher and Vessels will be that day. August 14th at the Slide Bar is Stanley and the Search, 21 and over. August 15th is the big local one, Narfest at Malone's with Unscarred, Defiant, Lions Amongst Wolves, I Ate Everybody. I'm missing like 16 more bands. Impurities is coming back for a reunion show, but it's only one show. I got to see a sneak peek of that since I have no idea who they were because I wasn't in the scene at that time, and they are really good. So buy any tickets from any of the locals. Unscarred will have their tickets soon. Defiant does have their tickets, but you can still be on the wait list. I mean, come on. So now I am going to give you, well, first of all, I'm going to stop the show list there because I said I would go up until Narfest, August 15th. And now I'm going to give you the 2 interviews that Javier of Unscarred. I know, repetitive, but I'm trying to throw his name out. He did 2 interviews with In Death and Repaid in Blood, and you will hear those interviews right now.
Alrighty, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and what band you're in?
Okay, well, I'm Krug from In Death. We are from Brisbane, Australia, and we are here on our first ever US tour.
Would you describe the scene difference between Australia and the States?
Well, we haven't got to see a lot of the scene as far as the States goes yet, but the scene in Australia, well, Brisbane in particular, is pretty small. Like, you know, at a local level, there's a good camaraderie, but you know, maybe not quite the volume of fans that you like to have at the shows at times. They can be very picky and choosy what shows they turn up to. We get a lot of US bands coming out now, so it's like now compared to 10 years ago, we're very spoilt for choice for shows to go to. So, which is cool in a way, but yeah, it's like for us, you know, we're still trying to build our brand or whatever you'd like to call it, and but yeah, things are going all right for us. We can't complain, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same how it is out here. You know, there's so many shows going on that you pretty much pick and choose.
Yeah, it's you've just got to promote your ass off to get people to, you know, sort of be able to find where your shows are at and turn up to them.
Yeah.
But we've got a really cool fan base back at home. There's just a whole bunch of people that always come to all of our shows, and you know, we try to show them as much love as we can, and you know, slip some of the guys, you know, a free shirt here and there, or something like that, just as a, you know, a thank you from us, because they're there spending their hard-earned dollars on watching us perform. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it means a lot, especially with everything that's going on and whatnot.
Well, yeah, when times are tight, every little bit counts, hey?
Oh, yeah. Like you said, you only been here a little while. What was, let's say, 3 days, roughly?
Well, 3 days on tour. We got in a little bit early. We spent a couple of days in LA just kind of hanging out and partying. So that was pretty fun.
Did you guys stop at Amoeba Records?
No, we didn't. No, I guess we were too busy getting fucked up.
It's one of those LA things you just gotta hit.
Oh man, that's it. You know, we're there. We weren't there to just muck around. That's for sure.
What's your next stop after this?
Next stop after this is San Francisco, which San Diego is it? Sorry, my bad. San Diego.
San Diego. So the time that you've been here, how the States treated you guys?
Oh, amazingly, man. Like we're a group of relatively unknown Aussies over here for the first time ever, and it's, we say hello to people and they hear the accent and say, oh, hey, where are you guys from? And say, yeah, man, we're out here on tour. Shit's about to get real. Come along to a show and party with us. And yeah, people have been so cool. It's been awesome.
Yeah, the accent helps a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I feel you. Okay, so from the 4-track demo that you guys have, Demolition, correct?
Correct, yes.
And your self-released EP in 2010, what can you say are the major differences between the two?
Between those two, production really. We actually have another EP since that that's come out called Thanatos. That was in 2013. That was released. And for us, that was another step up again. We actually managed to get ex-Machine Head guitarist Logan Mader to mix and master for us. And we sort of carried that on to just prior to coming out here, we released a single called Godzilla, which but Logan also did the mixing and mastering on for us. So that's kind of what we're plugging here, the EP and the new single. Because just as things progress as a band, you want to make that step up in production values, and we sort of managed to achieve an end result that we're really happy with.
Okay, so besides the production part, let's say the musical aspect of it, like what were your guys' influences that changed from EP to EP?
Yeah, okay. Well, the earlier stuff I think was probably more had sort of a slight progressive kind of feel to it, whereas now we're kind of just going more balls out, harder and heavier, and just going for that really, kick to the gut, punch in the face.
Okay.
Make you feel it when you listen to it,
All right.
There's been some lineup changes, which has been, sort of led to that, difference in ideologies. Just the new guys that have come in since that older stuff, I guess, are more along the lines of the sort of stuff that I listen to, like these days. Thy Art Is Murder, Cattle Decap, and definitely more a death metal influence than the previous stuff.
It's good to hear. You never get enough of that stuff.
Man, that's my bag. I was, that's sort of what I kind of brought to the band from day one, and musically, it's sort of morphed into more that side of things as well. So I couldn't be happier with the overall direction of the band right now.
So you referenced lineup changes over the time. So you guys have a female in your band now, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. She's been in the band from day one. She's an original member.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So unfortunately, she wasn't able to make the trip over here to the US with us. Just work and everything at home. Like we all work full-time jobs to support our music habit, as we often say, and it was just one of those things that we had to make a decision whether it was going to be yes or no. Do we do it? And she gave us her full support to come over here, kick some ass. Hopefully, make a good enough impression that we'll get asked to come back again, and then next time round she can come with us and we'll be full complete band. Yeah.
Yeah. That sucks you couldn't make it.
It does suck. Yeah. Like it's such a bummer for her, man. But like I guess the rest of us were appreciated so much that she didn't want to stop us from coming because she couldn't make it this time. So she's like, if you guys just find someone you can fill in for this tour, we'll do it all again next year, hopefully, and with the full band in tow.
That's good. It's good that she and I guess you could say gave you the blessing to come out here.
Yeah, like
some people would be pretty angry about that.
Oh man, we really wouldn't have wanted to do it without her, or at least without, like you say, her support, because she's an original member of the band, and she's an awesome bass player. So it is a shame that she couldn't come, but shit happens. We'll hopefully have a chance to make up for it.
Yeah. Since she's an original member, and you guys have done this for so long and whatnot, how is it like to actually have a female in the band with everything that goes on personally?
Look, on a personal level, she's just like one of the boys, man. Right. She fits in with us, no worries at all. She does, like, I know she hates it when people say shit like, oh, you're a good bass player for a chick. Yeah. She gets it all the time, man, and so that tends to get the heckles up a little bit, which I can understand fully. Because man, she's a great bass player for anybody. You know what I mean, like male or female. So, but yeah, man, as far as just sort of fitting in. She's really just like one of the boys, and there's never been any dramas whatsoever when it comes to that. She can outdrink some of the dudes that'll be in here tonight. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, probably. On the rest of the tour, what states are you more excited to play for?
Man,
which ones are you excited to go to and visit? And
yep, we keep hearing we're going to have such an awesome time in Texas. So Austin, Texas in particular, people keep saying, man, you guys are going to have a great time down there. But actually, this show here tonight was one of these stops. It's like, man, Long Beach. How can you not be excited about that? Yeah. Probably the same if you came to Brisbane, man. It would be like, yeah, whatever.
Right.
But you'd be like, oh, look at this place. It's awesome.
How is it different from there to here? Just everything in general with the people.
Yeah, totally night and day. Brisbane compared to like LA in general is kind of like a big country town, really. Like the actual CBD city area is probably as big as just Long Beach.
Oh wow!
and the suburbs out from there, but just the sheer size of this place, man, is the biggest difference. I would have to say.
Yeah. Have you got on a bus yet?
No. We flew in like straight into LA airport, and our drummer sort of had some mates that he was over just on holidays over here like last year, so he got one of his mates that he met on his last holiday to come and pick us up from the airport. We crashed at his place for a few days and hung out, partied.
Oh, wow.
And then we went and picked up our tour van, and so we've just been riding around in it since we got it.
After this tour, what's in store for your band?
What's in store for us? Actually, we've got some plans in the works at the moment that aren't 100% confirmed, but looks like we'll be heading over to Japan either just before the end of the year or early next year. So we'll get back. Actually, our first show back in Australia, once we do get back, 2 weeks after we land, we've got the main support for Hell Yeah in Brisbane.
Okay.
So that'll be a nice little homecoming for us, because I'm sure there'll be a pretty big crowd there for that. And we'll maybe take a little bit of sort of time away from playing live and work on some new songs. And then either at the end of this year or early January next year, we'll be heading off to do a little tour of Japan. Japan is pretty well directly above Australia, so there won't be too much time difference there. But it was definitely suffered a bit of jet lag once we first got here. It was like, oh man, my body clock is all over the place. I don't know what's going on.
It was good meeting you. Hope the rest of your tour is very well.
Thank you so much, bro.
Have a good time.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Now, I really hope you guys are in the mood for another interview. That was a lengthy interview. A lot of good points, and it's really interesting to talk to a band from out of the country because it's completely different manner than here and in Australia. I had to do a lot of editing. Because when I say it's different manner from Australia to here, yeah, you get the point. So, there was a lot of editing in that interview. The just was in it. It was just a lot of cursing and fire trucks, and it wasn't cool. So that was In Death. Be sure to check them out. I think we'll be seeing a lot more of them in the States, so be on the lookout for that. I want to meet them next time. They seem like cool dudes. I want to hang with the bass player. She seems really cool. Wish she was there, but oh well. Work life. Here is the interview with Repaid in Blood.
You want to go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Sure. Hey man, what's up? I'm Buzzard. I sing for Repaid in Blood.
So you've shared the stage with a lot of good bands like Betraying the Martyr, I Shall Perish.
Yep.
You said you were in another band.
Sure.
Mind just explaining
Yeah, man.
that?
I played off and on with a bunch of bands. I played with Skin Lab off and on over the years, and I played bass for 36 Crazy Fists out of Alaska, and I did most of the major festivals with those guys: Vakken, Open Air, Dynamo, Soundwave, Rock 'em Ring, Hellfest, all that shit. So
it's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
How do you like playing those compared to small venues?
I'm actually more nervous in the smaller venues than I am in the bigger venues. You know what I mean? Like, it's more personal, more intimate, and people are right here versus half the rocking's kind of done for you with the big stage and the lights and all that stuff. So you got to bring a little bit more rock in the smaller venues.
A little more feeling in it.
Yeah, a little more heart and soul.
What's your favorite song to play live?
Actually, the one we don't play right now.
No one?
Yeah, we have a song called One Bullet Shy that I'm trying to get these guys to play. It's an older song. But right now, my favorite song to play right now is probably, I like them all, but I have to go like Born in a Lazarus Pit or She Used My Face as a Pregnancy Test.
And why do you pick those two songs?
Because they're the hardest songs to sing vocally wise. You know what I mean?
You like that challenge, huh?
Yeah. It's I like a challenge.
So out of those two songs, which one is your most favorite to play?
Lazarus.
So you've been in the music scene for a while.
Yeah.
A long time.
I've been doing it professionally since '92, off and on.
What would you say is the biggest change from what you've seen then in '92 to the millennium to now?
In what? In what regards?
Just everything.
Everything?
Good and bad.
Well, back in the day, there used to be the proverbial diamond in the rough. A dime a dozen kind of thing. Is kind of more the parlance of our times term now. There's so many people trying to make it in the scene right now. One of my old drummers actually said, half the fans should have stayed fans and never become bands. I don't always feel that way, but do what you do, you know what I mean? More power to the people that get out there and have the difference to make a difference.
Yeah,
I think it's important.
Try.
Yeah, they have the balls to get up there and do it because it's not easy. You got a lot of armchair quarterbacks sitting on the sidelines on all the internet and viral media just talking smack about everybody out there that's doing it. Like, let's hear your music, let's see your stage, let's hear your albums, and then you have the right to actually talk shit about other bands. Until then, people need to shut the fuck up. But as far as people coming out, man, come out, dude, because you never know who's going to be that next diamond in the rough.
It's true, yeah.
You never know. So, we're heavy metal, we're in legions, we're an army, not just 15 guys.
What do you think bands are lacking when it comes to being successful these days?
That kind of goes hand in hand with the fact that it's saturated to so many bands that it's kind of hard to focus on what's going on. Like, I remember reading in 2013, 3,000 new metal releases in the U.S. alone. Wow. So that's roughly like 87 albums a week that you have to keep up with just for new releases. Not to mention all the 25-year bands that are coming back out and putting out albums again, like At the Gates and all the old school bands coming out and doing stuff like the Misfits and all those guys coming around again, and which is awesome, man, because those dudes were game changers.
Yeah. And
they set a standard at a bar at a certain level that the last decade of bands have tried to achieve, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Guys like them and Meshuggah just raised the bar, and everyone was like, whoa, they're looking up over here. You're like, ugh.
From those bands to local bands, what would you say
they're missing?
Yeah, other than musical composition.
that would be the biggest thing. I think too many people are trying to say too much within the confines of one song or maybe one record. I think people maybe need to slow down a little bit and think things through a little bit more. I think things need to become a little bit more heartfelt and timeless, like they were back in the day.
Yeah.
Because there's still songs that hold court now that are 100 years old, that are 50 years old, that you know, that I know, that everybody knows on this planet. You know, Pink Floyd, The Wall, stuff like that. You know, the classics, you know, Black Sabbath and everything. Like, everybody knows that. You hear Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, Back in Black, you're like, oh yeah. Love it or hate it, it still changed the world and it influenced millions and millions of people.
Definitely.
But I think bands need to use the resources available, work smarter and not harder. I mean, we roll with no trailer, and this is the first time I've ever toured since '92 without a trailer. So.
And how do you like the
I
difference?
love it, bro. We flip U's whenever we need to, change lanes. We can do more than 55 in the third lane. We can get over there, ride in the carpool lane. We can do whatever. It's total freedom.
Yeah.
You know, of course, you got to scale down some of the stage gear, but that's all right. You don't need much. I mean, a lot of the newer gear is like not even 50, 100 watt gear anymore. They're coming out in the 16 and the 32 watt heads and stuff like that because it's just so much. Yeah, and a lot of dudes are like, I need to hear me more versus no, you just need to know your material. You don't need to hear yourself, because that's the thing as a singer, you can't listen to yourself. As soon as you start listening to what the hell you're doing, you're off somewhere else and you're going to fucking focus on what you sound like versus being in the moment and bringing what needs exactly, letting go.
Yeah.
Like Samurai. You ever see that movie where he's like, what's wrong? He's like, too much mind, mind the people watching, mind the sword, mind yourself, no mind.
Yeah.
And he's like fucking shuts his brain off just like Luke. Use the Force Luke. He puts the shield on and he starts hitting it. Once you shut off the brain and allow that frontal lobe to relax.
On your Facebook page, it shows all the members' names and then there's nicknames beside it. Can you explain that?
On our page?
Yeah.
I think I'm the only one with nickname unless he's got one. I think he goes by Tigger or Tiger.
I think so too, yeah.
And then mine's Buzzard. Yeah. I got that torn with bands over the years, just living off scraps and you know, people throwing away food. Like, we just throwing that away for, bro. It's good food. Like, I'm hungry, bro. I ain't got no money in my pocket right now.
Yeah.
You know, if you could throw that away, I'm gonna eat that. You know, I'm torn with bands that are getting load out trays and riders and pizzas and stuff. And like, we don't want this shit. You know, they fucking put cigarettes out in it and stuff. And it's like, you know, you get a little older, you get a little bit more respectful and stuff like that. You start considering the sirs and the ma'ams and your manners and stuff. But a lot of young kids don't have that anymore, man. That shit's gone. Respect for people, individuals, especially your elders, just seems to be deteriorating. I think a lot of that's perpetuated by the media, where we are right now. You know, my great uncle wrote, you know, you are what you sit around and think about all day long. You know, as we as a society, as a culture, and like parlance of our times, if you will, the proverbial pulse of humanity is focused on this negativity that's the end times and everything. Oh, biblical signs in the sky. Cool, man, all that. Live life. If we weren't all focused on that, I think eventually those things would probably de-manifest and not come into fruition and things would pass, you know what I mean? But yet you're sitting around thinking, oh man, then you're a filter, and what you know, the energy that comes through the universe through you dictate what you receive and what you put out. You know, I think people just need to look inside a little bit more and shut the brain off, follow their heart.
That's just a basic way of thinking.
Sure.
You know,
it's not an absolution.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's just an outlet to thinking differently, a different outcome.
Oh yeah.
You know. They say all paths lead to God, if you will, so we all go to death. Even Jim Morrison wrote, nobody gets out of here alive, man, you know, so can't get off this planet without dying.
Yeah.
Passed so fast. I mean, the last 20 years of my life have gone by so fast. I've lost it all, gained it back, lost it all, gained it back, and I'm still here, I'm still alive, so.
Just ride the storm.
Oh yeah.